Check whether they've been paper or they've been digital. I have been grading. I'll double check and see if there's things that I can pass back to y'all. Let me check my online kids real quick. Let's see, Luke and Sahara. Got Luke. Got Sahara. Tiffany says hi. I see Sebastian. I see Slate. I see Veronica. Jared, what are you doing? If I get on relay and I record your screen, can I send you to the principal? Okay, well, let's see. I'll get onto it right now. And we will find out.
Why? She's going to record your screen. She's to charge you.
You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be getting ready for us to do the opener while I'm taking care of Sarah. Oh yeah, I'm not on the thing. We have the polyatomic ion quiz, yeah. Give me just a second. Oh, I got too many things. Let's see here. Schedule. Right. Go. Save. Okay, so let me go back into here. Okay, I should have fixed the opener so that you. Wait, did I hit save? Let me check it. If I don't hit save, I didn't fix anything. Yeah, I did. I did. All right, so yeah, it was a file upload. It's just a matter of clicking on a text box entry. It's just, I clicked the wrong thing when I created it. You probably opened it after I changed it. I just changed it. All right, so for this one, since we're doing a mix of everything, we're doing a mix of naming, okay, from a formula and writing a formula from a name. Okay, some of them are going to be ionic and just binary, which means two different elements, metal, non-metal. Some are going to be ternary ionic, which we're about to do the quiz over this in just a second, which means it's going to have at least 3 different capital letters in it. Or it's going to be molecular, and it's going to be nothing but nonmetals, but it's going to be all jumbled together. Let's do prefixes first. What do prefixes tell you? They tell you 2 specific things. What if you see a prefix in the name? Okay, it'll tell you specifically how many of that element it is. But if you see a prefix, is it ionic or is it covalent? Which one gets prefixes? Covalent or molecular? They're interchangeable. The ionics don't have prefixes. And what does a Roman numeral tell you about a specific metal? Like II, IV, VI. What do those tell you about very specific metals? Not how many they are. It tells you what about that? Its charge, how positive it is. And when I was grading, I was seeing people, like if it said iron IIIO, they're writing capital F, little e, and then a 3, and then an O. Is not what that means. That means that the iron is +3, the oxygen's -2, and then you crisscross them. Which type of compounds, ionic or covalent, remember covalent, molecular, same gosh darn thing. If you can reduce, you have to reduce. Like if you have a 2 and a 4, it would have to be a 1 and a 2. Is it ionics you do that to, or is it covalents you do that to? Only ionics. Only ionics. We do not reduce covalent. If it tells you 2 and 4, it tells you I don't even know if this is a compound. If it tells you diphosphorus tetraoxide, you do not reduce them. The prefix tells you specifically how many. Now let me go into the quiz and make sure I didn't mess that puppy up. I did check to make sure I actually had the questions in this time. I didn't make that same mistake as last time. I don't remember what my access code is though. Okay, also, if you're in there waiting for the access code, it tells you that the numbers next to the element symbol is a subscript. Okay, and then the negative, whatever number is supposed to be a superscript for a charge, because in this type of Canvas quiz, it doesn't let me do that. I can do it in instructions, but I can't do it in the multiple choice. Let me see. I'll put everything together on here right. Yes, they look like they're all in there. I'm just double checking because it happened last week. Yeah, they're all in there. All right, so the access code for this is literally set to, it's lowercase. Let me put this up on the thing here. Insert text box. Yeah, polyion quiz 2 from today. I'm putting the access code on the so they can see it online if they come in late. So set 2, the number 2, it's like this. Just like this. And I'll give you all a few minutes to be able to do that while I finish taking attendance. Since attendance takes us so long nowadays. Let's see, where's the right button? Oh, there's that. You can take the quiz now. I'm going to take attendance both in person and online real quick, and then we will start this online mix of everything. Let's see, Lexus.
Yeah.
Well, what?
I was gonna go online.
Like I said, the number. So if I take a look at, I mean, it doesn't matter. Let me just pull one off of here. It's in the set that you guys have. Okay, so what I need in the instructions, like this one, is in one of the ones that you have to do. You see this? What it really means is this. Because I can't, in instructions, I can do that. But in the multiple choice, when I go down and put them on the multiple, like when you're matching them side by side, I can't. It won't let me. I can't do like control, comma, like none of that works. It doesn't give me the little T with the 2. None of that. It's really frustrating. I tried changing fonts. None of it works. Okay, so then, glasses are fogging today. No. We have, if you give me, I'm taking attendance real quick, like actually taking attendance here real quick. Trying to remember who was remote and who was not. I don't even know why I trust so many people are remote now. No, you guys should have a link to what we're doing unless I messed that up. Let me check that. Nope, you should see 12.1 assignment mixed naming. Mixed naming, unless I forgot to put the actual dates on it. I did not. And when you open that, I'm gonna sort of walk through it on the screen with you. Okay. To make this quicker. Okay, so if you're just coming online, and we've already done the opener, you need to go into the quiz. Okay, you'll see the one that I did on the board. So when you do the matching part, I don't know which one's first because everything's all jumbled up. But if you see as your answer choice how you're matching them side to side, capital S, capital O, regular size 3, and then a -2, because it will not let me change the font in the answer choice part of this. It should really read as capital S, capital O with a 3 subscript, meaning 3 oxygens, and then that whole thing carries a -2 charge. And then when you're done with that, you can pull up the assignment that's today, and we'll walk through that in just a second. So Jared is here. Do you not see this one? So, oh, I'm marking this on a stupid thing. It's all slate. Lucas is here. Declan is online. No, Declan. Tatiana's online. Alexis is online. Jimmy's here. Sebastian's online. Bailey is here. Let's see Matthew. Robert's here. Luke's online. Valerie's here. Veronica's online. Leah's here. Reagan's here. I can now see Aiden. Kyle's here. Hopefully, did I give you all enough time? Have I stalled enough, or do you need me to give some of you another minute? Okay. I'm gonna share this one with you. This is what should be staring at you in the face. I think this was the one that we started doing last week, and I realized it wasn't the right one. I had a lot of things happen that was wrong that day. But this first part, what we're doing is you're just dragging them over. You look at the first thing that's listed. If that thing is a metal, once again, you will need a periodic table the rest of the year. This black staircase, which I guess I could turn my camera on for them, even though it's going to be reversed. Is one of the reasons why I do hide my camera for those of you that are remote is because everything is like reversed. So you've got this line. Actually, it's not reversed that way. It looks right. Here, let me pin my screen here. I can tell you. That looks backwards to me. So this staircase, which is over on the right-hand side of the periodic table, everything on this side is a metal, except for hydrogen. Everything on this side, including hydrogen, is a non-metal. If you start with a metal, which most of these should have been colored yellow, except for hydrogen, if it starts with one of those, what type is it? Is it ionic or is it covalent if it starts with that? It's ionic. Okay, if it starts with something on this side of the staircase, including hydrogen, then what is it? It is covalent. And yes, I know this was a class where I just had one weird thing after another that happened that were wrong, but that's all you're doing is you're dragging them over and you're looking at this first element, locating it on the periodic table, and figuring out is it ionic or covalent. The second one, what's the matter, Jared? This is what should be open. This is the assignment today. Oh, we're having a bad day. About to be the weekend. 12-11 assignments, what we're starting. This is the same exact thing. Okay, so these are all ionic. Okay, they all start with metals. But you're going to name them. And if I turn my little screen back on, which if you look at the one that, there we go. Okay, so, because I've got different things that are pinning, but if your metals, hydrogen is a non-metal, okay, and I'm trying to make this closer. Yes, I know my stuff is reversed. There has to be an app that will flip this so that it doesn't do it, but not hydrogen. If you've got a group 1 or a group 2A metal, it does not get a Roman numeral. Okay, if you have zinc, cadmium, copper, or aluminum, it does not get a Roman numeral. But every other metal, except for those 4 that are to the right of group 1 and 2, you've got to tell me the charge. If you do not tell me the charge, it is wrong. If you put a Roman numeral with the group 1 or 2A or one of those 4 elements, this is the silver, the cadmium, the zinc, and the aluminum, it's not right. Okay, so it's a group 3 and over metal, except for cadmium, zinc, silver, and aluminum. And yes, I'm trying to make, I guess I've sort of backed away from the thing.
Which ones don't we remember?
All right, so let's go back and let's look at it. So we've got, okay, so find the Mg and you tell me what element that is. That is magnesium. Is that in group 1 or 2A? It's in 2A, so does it get a Roman numeral? No. Now, then you have to figure out, because these are both binary, like the first one, and ternary, like the second and third one. Cl is what element? Chlorine, and the ene changes to ide. Y'all, the 8s and the 8s are on here. I had people doing that wrong. So when I pass stuff back, you may see, and if you've been turning it online, it's hard for me to put the X exactly where I want to, but I have been marking them online and resubmitting them back to you.
I
So
have a question real quick.
what?
So can you like refresh my brain like how to tell if it's like ATE or IDE?
See how this has 1, 2, 3 capital letters? This is either an 8 or an 8. So you need to find the PO4, which you, this is one that's for next week's quiz. It has to do if it has more or less oxygens. Now you don't have both of them on there. So you may have to look it up. Y'all, if there's 4 oxygens, it is going to be an 8. There's no such thing as a 5 oxygen 8. Now there are some that only have an 8, like oxalate. Where's he at?
Wait, I'm so confused.
Do you not still have this?
No, I have it.
So you literally go find PO4 and it tells you next to it what his name is.
So it's like you do that for everyone?
If it's got 3 capital letters, it's going to be on here in some way, shape, or form.
So what's the
If it only has 2 capital letters, then it's going to be an ide
what's the
because it came from 2 elements, just like this one. You had a capital M and a capital C. Y'all, this is not a capital I, that is a lowercase l. It's not a 1, it is an L. If you see 2 elements like this one, or you see 2 elements like this one, then that second thing is going to end in ide. If you see 3 capital letters, something's attached to oxygen over here, then that is most likely an 8 or an 8.
Okay. Iron. Who's that?
Is iron going to need a Roman numeral?
I think so.
It is.
I'm confused.
They have 2 different irons listed on here, though, and only one of them is right. The Roman numeral does not tell you how many it has. It tells you how positive its charge is. So this is when you work out oxygen first. You have 3 of them, but each oxygen is how negative? 3 times negative 2 is negative how much? So the iron side has to be positive 6, but you have 2 of them. The 2 positive irons have to multiply out to positive 6. That always works. That's one of the only times you've actually had to do math in this section. When you get to the covalents, these are the ones that use prefixes.
I can do this.
Remember, the first thing does not get a prefix unless it has a subscript. The second thing will always get a prefix. And I erased the prefixes off the board. You might be able to see how they're whited out up there. No Roman numerals with covalents. Most of you went through the covalent stuff really easy yesterday. In fact, that's like really the only thing I'm looking for right now. Let me pass back the graded stuff that I have.
But it's on the last side, so for like the Roman numerals part, for like
The previous slide?
Let
me go back. Yeah,
So
he needs a Roman numeral.
yeah, so for this, I'm asking myself.
She's trying to talk through it.
Yes, I'm like, I'm just staring. So like 1 has 2 and 1 has 3. Like, do we go with the one that has 2 because the charge is 2? Or do
The charge is not 2 on that element.
So we go with the charge that's like on the periodic table and not the.
You can't go with the charge on the periodic table for iron because you don't know it. You have to figure it out. But I talked through this with Jimmy. I do it on the for our race board. This is the compound that we're trying to figure out. What you do, and I'm sorry online, you cannot see my board and it would be reversed anyways. We know oxygen has 3 of them. What is oxygen's charge every single time? What's 3 times negative 2? 3 times 2 is? You got me 3 times 2.
What's 3 plus?
You're in the
2?
11th grade.
Oh my God.
So if the oxygen side is negative 6, that means that the iron side, remember the whole point of this is to add up to 0, has to equal to positive 6. Well, how many of them do you have? So each one is positive how much?
Two.
You need to tell me that. A lot of people in this compound, on the stuff that I was grading when we were doing this, they were telling me this is iron 2 oxide because they thought that this is the Roman numeral. This came from here. This came from here. But reverse crossing does not always work. It does in this case. This always works, which is why I showed it to you this way.
Do you feel like for this episode, for like the second letter, is it always going to be the Roman numeral for the person? Because oxygen has 3 and then the numeral for iron is 3.
Well, in this case, yes, but if I do the other type of iron, which is not on your thing, we understand there's one of each, right? But this is not negative 1. Oxygen's always negative 2. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So this one, positive 2. That's why we have to use Roman numerals, because you have different types for the same element. You can't do, oh, this is negative 1, and oh, that's positive 1, because oxygen is not negative 1. It's negative 2. I'm not trying to confuse you by doing the reverse cross. I swear I'm not. The reason why I didn't show it to you that way to begin with is because it doesn't always work. And I'm trying to give you as few exceptions as possible. All right, so let me go back down. So I'm pretty sure we're okay with, were there any specific questions with the covalent ones? Because most of you got this pretty good. I'll pass that stuff back in a minute. Naming ionic and covalent. The first thing you have to do is figure out if it is ionic or covalent. If it's covalent, that's the easy one. Just use prefixes. If it's ionic, not only are you possibly going to have a polyatom, which both of those do, but you may need a Roman numeral, which you do for one, but not the other. Let me add on here. Naming ionic and covalent, same thing here. Identify if it's ionic or covalent. Remember, if it starts with a metal, it's ionic. You may need to use charges. If it starts with a non-metal, it's covalent. You're going to need prefixes. Just a Venn diagram. If they have things in common, it goes in the middle. If it's specifically ionic, it is on the left. If it is specifically covalent or molecular, it goes on the right. Acids. This was where I realized we were not like in the right spot. On your polyatomic ion, they are all listed on here. They're here. Like, hold them off of here. The only one that's not, I believe, is the phosphoric. Okay, so the only one that's not on here that we're about to do together is phosphoric acid. Now, we have not done this nomenclature yet. Acids are a royal pain in the butt. I'm just giving you forewarning when we start doing this. But what all acids have in common is they have a +1 hydrogen. Wrong one. And they have their, in this case, and this is where some of you are like, what? The way I remember this is I ate it, it's icky. So an ick acid came from its ate. So it didn't come from phosphite, it came from phosphate, which is PO4 with a -3 charge. So in this case, you crisscross. Well, I'm only going to need 1 phosphate, but I am going to need 3 hydrogens. So we're going to bring a 3 down here, change it to a subscript. And we do not need parentheses on the phosphate. That is how you do phosphoric acid. There are 3 types of phosphorus acids. There's hydrophosphoric acid, which has no oxygens. There is phosphorus acid, which comes from phosphite, and there is phosphoric acid, which comes from phosphate. That's the only one that's not directly on that chart. So I just did that one for you. And like I said, acids they're not quite as complicated as ionics, but you still got to crisscross. What's harder with acids is I ate it, it's icky, it's all right with us. And then I can't remember the one I did with the ides. My Ozan kids came up with some weird drug reference one year, and it worked for them, but I'm not trying not to do anything stupid. Writing formulas, which I believe is the last one. You're going to figure out if they're ionic or covalent. If you see a Roman numeral, it's going to be ionic, y'all. If you see a prefix, it's going to be covalent. And if it's ionic, you crisscross. If it's covalent, you use the prefix. And that is, and you should be able to finish this in class. Now I'm going to freeze this. And I'm going to go back online and see if other people came in. I'm going to stop the recording because I'm about to tell people if they were missing turning in stuff. I don't like putting that on YouTube.